We are going to begin here with the extreme weather conditions this weekend, smothering heat in the west, fire danger in the Pacific Northwest, and so much more. ABC's Jacqueline Lee joins us now from Santa Monica, California, where high surf is the concern. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hey, Gio, good morning. That is right. A high surf advisory is in effect here in Los Angeles. And given that most of the country is facing extreme weather, officials are warning everyone to be on alert. This morning, stunning images out of Sonoma County in Northern California. Firefighters encountering walls of thick smoke and flying embers as they respond to the Woodside fire, which has already burned 143 acres.
The dry trees definitely contributed to a lot of spot fires. That's where the challenges were.
A growing heat dome creating perfect conditions for extreme wildfire behavior in the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, in the middle of what could be its worst wildfire season on record, burning more than 1.8 million acres. More than half the state facing severe drought-level conditions.
It's definitely hot, definitely hotter than we were expecting.
The dangerous heat wave gripping the west and parts of the south, impacting nearly 58 million Americans from California to Montana and across portions of Texas and Florida. This skate park in Los Angeles reading 120 degrees.
The heat is just unbearable. It's just too hot out here.
Areas across the west hitting triple-digit temperatures. In Phoenix, Arizona, the city's rescue helicopter out of service during one of the hottest stretches of the year. Firefighters say mountain rescues that used to take as little as 30 minutes could now take 3 hours. Temperatures could reach highs near 116 degrees. While a hurricane in the Pacific is whipping up a wicked surf. Beachgoers in Southern California urged to use caution as Hurricane Genevieve fuels waves as high as 10 feet and dangerous rip currents along roughly 700 miles of coastline.
I don't test myself. I proceed with extra precaution.
Yeah, so sneaker waves, rip currents, a huge concern. Now, a pro tip from an AC repair shop in Arizona. When you get into your car and you really want to cool it off fast, they say you want to turn the knob to 1. Wait until cool air comes out and then blast it, because if you blast it right away, it'll create like a blow dryer in your car.
Wow.
Gio.
All right. That's a really good tip. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Appreciate it. Let's get a closer look now at that dangerous heat dome. Samara Theodore has been tracking it all week long. So how's it looking, Samara?
Oh, it's looking hot in the days to come. Really not much in the way of relief. You can see here the Sonoma County fire burning, this Woodside fire. Over 140 acres have burned, only 30% contained. And this could persist. The environment is really going to be amplified, or fire environment is amplified by the heat we're seeing. Take a look. Extreme heat warnings for everyone in this purple color. These are actual air temperatures. We're not talking about feel like or heat index. No, 116 degrees in Phoenix, 116 in Las Vegas. Billings is one to watch as well. Saturday, today, temperatures could reach 107 degrees. That could be an all-time high for August. That's what we're anticipating. Rapid City, 105 degrees as well. Daily record-breaking highs for anyone with a red box on the screen right now. That includes Phoenix. And then finally, this is a look at that fire weather danger. Extreme risk the farther north you head into Pasco, just parts of Oregon and down into Northern California. That's a look at the forecast. Whit, back to you.
All right, Samara, thanks so much. New details this morning about the proposed Gaza deal announced by President Trump. But there are still many questions about whether Hamas and Israel are on board. ABC's Alex Brochet joins us now from Washington to break it all down. Alex, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. And you're right. There are so many questions that remain. Israel has yet to officially commit to this deal. But an agreement is a crucial step, not just in ending this conflict between Israel and Hamas, but also the war with Iran.
This morning, after a deadly week in Gaza, President Trump touting an agreement he says negotiators struck with Hamas for a complete disarmament and to transfer power. The president calling it a historic agreement between his newly formed Board of Peace and the militant group. That Board of Peace, a multinational alliance established by Trump to oversee the administration's 20-point peace plan. Hamas says its commitment to disarm is dependent on Israel withdrawing from Gaza first, saying in a statement, the occupation's commitment to ending the killing and halting its attacks is the essential prerequisite. Israel has yet to officially commit to the agreement. The president with few details during a cabinet meeting at Camp David Friday, but he insists Israel is happy with the deal. Our Mary Bruce was there.
Do you have assurances from Israel that they are on board with this deal? And what comes first? Does Israel pull back and then Hamas disarms, or does Hamas need to disarm and then Israel leaves Gaza?
So we do have an understanding with Israel. Israel is very happy about it. Now, will it go through its ups and downs? It's a very complex situation over there.
And that peace deal is facing further complications as the war with Iran, which is now in its 6th month, is expanding. Two U.S. officials tell ABC News the president is weighing a round of intense strikes on Iranian energy targets, and that could begin as soon as this weekend. Whit?
All right, Alex, thanks so much. And Mary, I know you were in the room with the president there, also pressing him on the war in Iran.
Yeah, I did. And look, it is clear that these attacks on Iran are going to continue. As Alex just mentioned, sources tell us the president is weighing another round of strikes, intense strikes on energy targets. And I pressed the president on how long Americans can expect this back and forth to drag on. And the president told me Iran will get weaker. They'll get a little stronger, but they'll get weaker. And then they'll peter out, in his words. I think the bottom line, we are now in the 6th month of this war, and there's no clear end in sight.
Yeah, people just have to kind of brace for more of this until we learn more. Thank you for that, Mary.
Exactly. And also this morning, the nomination of Todd Blanche to be Attorney General appears even more uncertain. Key Senate Republicans are holding up Blanche's nomination, and the president, well, he's digging in. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest. Christian, good morning.
Hey, Mary, good morning. So the Senate Judiciary Committee overnight added another attempt to get Todd Blanche through this key hurdle, a vote scheduled for Tuesday. But that doesn't necessarily mean these two GOP holdouts have come around.
This morning, a showdown in Washington as two outgoing GOP senators are withholding support for the president's pick for Attorney General.
Todd Blanche is a very good man, and he shouldn't be in the middle of this.
Senators John Cornyn and Thom Tillis say they will not vote to confirm Todd Blanche until the administration addresses concerns over two key parts of a settlement agreement between Trump and the IRS, including putting in writing that a nearly $1.8 billion fund paid for by taxpayers to the president's political allies is dead, and narrowing the scope of the provision granting Trump and his family businesses immunity from IRS audits. Trump pressed by our Mary Bruce Friday.
Just to be clear, do you agree with the acting attorney general that the anti-weaponization fund is dead? And why not just put that in
Well,
writing?
it is dead, but, I wish it weren't, to be honest with you. I think people were horribly treated, horribly abused. This has nothing to do with that. This was me. Horribly abused, and I'd like to see them compensated for the pain.
The president also suggesting Cornyn's defiance is politically motivated, which Cornyn denies. The Texas senator lost his primary to a Trump-endorsed candidate earlier this year. Tillis, meanwhile, is not running for re-election in North Carolina after an earlier split with Trump.
So since both senators will leave Congress in January, Trump says he may temporarily pull Blanche's nomination only to bring it back when they are gone. But it's unclear if there's enough support across the full Senate, especially without addressing those sticking points. And for now, GO negotiations are set to continue through this weekend.
They sure are. All right, Christian, thank you so much. Meanwhile, President Trump is claiming that incompetence by Minnesota's government is to blame for coordinated cyber attacks on water systems across that state. The president did not provide any specific evidence for that, but authorities say that more than 30 plants were impacted. According to multiple U.S. officials, investigators are looking at whether Iran or any of its proxies were responsible. But President Trump dismissed the possibility of Iranian involvement. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz pushing back, saying that President Trump knows Iran is responsible, and he blamed DOGE cuts for leaving the U.S. vulnerable to cyber attacks. Whit?
All right, Gio, now to the border crisis between Morocco and Spain. After a chaotic and deadly journey, tens of thousands of migrants are now going back to Moroccan territory. ABC's Marcus Moore is joining us now with the latest. Marcus, good morning.
Well, Whit, good morning. The pictures of this crisis that we have seen are truly extraordinary. Some 50,000 people are rushing the border into the Spanish territory of Ceuta this week, many of them swimming 3 miles from Morocco in northern Africa to reach the enclave. Images show people emerging from the water in wetsuits, others on boats, and climbing through holes in the fencing and then sprinting into the streets of the city. Officials said at least 67 people died in the incident that prompted Spanish authorities to deploy the military. And for some perspective this morning, within just a couple of days, tens of thousands of people crossed the border into a town of 80,000 residents. All the stores have been closed there and residents staying home. Now, the streets today are getting back to normal, according to officials. And many of the people who made this dangerous journey are seeking a better life, looking for jobs and a future in Europe. President Trump called it an invasion, saying the same thing will happen in the U.S. if Republicans don't get elected. And this is happening after Spain's Supreme Court ruled that those who reach the area by sea cannot be immediately returned without due process. Now, Spain's prime minister said that Human traffickers were spreading, quote, a self-interested interpretation of that ruling, causing an avalanche of people to rush the border with.
And Marcus, we also learned that a number of people have already gone back to Morocco.
Yeah, that's right. Spain's Interior Ministry says that of the 50,000 who crossed the border, 48,000 have already gone back, some voluntarily returning after finding dire conditions there in Ceuta. And Spain's Civil Guard and Navy have also said that they will install a floating barrier to strengthen their borders. Mary.
All right, Marcus, thank you. And now to Ukraine, where authorities say Russia launched a deadly missile attack on Kyiv. Ukrainian military officials say a barrage of more than 200 ballistic missiles and drones hit the capital city overnight. New video shows damages to residential buildings, a school, and the Lithuanian embassy. The mayor of Kyiv says at least 9 people were killed and 30 injured, including 4 children. Russia's defense ministry says the latest strike aimed to target Ukraine's logistic facilities and military sites. Gio?
Mary, we turn now to the dramatic crash of a Marine Corps fighter jet in California. Witnesses saying that the pilot managed to eject just in time, thank goodness. And ABC's Andrew Dimbert is right here with all the details on this.
Gio, a frightening scene, to say the least here. A fighter pilot ejecting before a fiery crash overnight. New video showing the aftermath of this plane crash at the Marine Corps Air Station Miramar in San Diego. Authorities say an F-35B stealth fighter jet was reportedly approaching the runway Friday morning when it fell short and crashed into a nearby field. The pilot ejected before impact, in all likelihood a life-saving move. Video from the scene shows large plumes of smoke rising from the wreckage. In a statement, the Marine Corps called the incident an aircraft mishap, saying the pilot is stable and receiving medical attention for non-life-threatening injuries. Local firefighters also responded to a brush fire sparked by the crash. There were no reports of any injuries on the ground. As for what went wrong here, authorities say they are now investigating.
But we're glad the pilot is getting that medical attention. All right, thank you for that, Andrew. A Tennessee man says he is thankful to his heroes, a state trooper and a National Guard medic who came to his aid after he was shot while riding his motorcycle. New body camera and dash cam video show the man lying on the side of the road here, his motorcycle nearby. The victim was able to call 911. The medic and the trooper immediately got to work treating him. The three then recently reuniting right there, and the victim says he's already back on his bike. The shooting remains under investigation. Mary?
Okay, and now to NFL analyst and former Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo, put on leave by CBS a week after his arrest on suspicion of operating a vehicle while intoxicated. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mary. He's gone from 4-time Pro Bowler to one of football's most recognizable broadcasts. But this morning, Tony Romo is off the air as newly released body camera video sheds new light on the arrest that led CBS Sports to sideline one of its biggest stars. This morning, growing fallout for Tony Romo.
Romo comes the other way. Austin catches.
The former NFL star and TV analyst placed on leave just days after his arrest on suspicion of operating while intoxicated.
How many drinks have you had?
CBS Sports telling ABC News Romo is on leave from his role until further notice. The decision comes as this body camera video showing the July 23rd traffic stop outside Milwaukee, where deputies said she found an open bottle of alcohol in his vehicle after being pulled over for unsafe driving. The deputy in the video asked Romo to take a field sobriety test. He asked for a lawyer.
I'm still allowed to call my lawyer, right?
You're not.
I'm not allowed to.
Step out of the vehicle.
Romo complies, but rather than give the test on the highway, the deputy handcuffs Romo to take him to the station.
Have a seat.
Before the test, Romo even taking a moment to stretch.
Can I do an exercise?
Go ahead, dude.
When asked about head injuries, the 4-time Pro Bowler joking about his playing career.
Any head injuries recently? Any concussions?
Over the years, yes, but not recently. No, we're good.
Okay. So please stand with your feet together and your hands down at the side.
Authorities say Romo failed the field sobriety test and refused a preliminary breathalyzer.
You
Trying not to.
willing to submit to a PBT?
What is that?
It's a preliminary drug test.
It does not determine the results of
Oh,
my
no,
test.
we're not doing that.
Okay.
I've already heard from all the lawyers. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
And we know J.J. Watt will be stepping in as Romo is on leave. In the meantime, we know that he's due in court in September. We also reached out to his representatives for comment, but have not yet heard back. Gio?
All right, Morgan, thank you so much. And the CDC and FDA are warning of an E. coli outbreak linked to frozen berries sold at some Publix stores. The supermarket chain voluntarily recalling all bags of GreenWise organic frozen whole blueberries and whole mixed berries as a precaution. Consumers should throw them away or return them to the store. 12 cases have been reported in Georgia and Florida. All right, so a lot to watch there. Make sure to look in your freezers right now.
Now to tonight's Powerball jackpot, now over $700 million, and it's getting close to top 10 territory. ABC's Will Gans is here with all the excitement. You're also giving me advice on my $8 winnings from before. He said, just let it ride.
Let it ride, baby. Keep it
Let's
going.
Do it.
That's right. Tonight is the night, people. One of us or one of you could become the winner of the biggest Powerball prize of the year, an estimated $707 million, which is just shy of cracking the top 10 biggest Powerball jackpots ever. It's been 89 days since someone won the Powerball. But now people from the UK are allowed to play, but U.S. lottery officials say that will allow Powerball jackpots to grow even more quickly, so little silver lining there. This all comes on the heels of someone in Florida winning the biggest Mega Millions jackpot of the year this week. That was a cool $800 million.
Why'd I leave Florida?
We needed you up here, that's why. But now it's all eyes on tonight's Powerball drawing at 10:59 p.m. Eastern. The odds, they're absolutely abysmal. 1 in 292 million. I'm just keeping it real, but someone's got to win,
Never
right?
give me the odds.
Yeah. No one has to win. Technically, we could go winnerless again, in which case the jackpot would grow before Monday night's drawing. But whether you win or lose, there actually is a silver lining. In addition to the prize pot, a portion of lottery revenue goes to state-directed causes like public education, environmental conservation, and veterans assistance funds. So it's a little bit of a, it helps assuage my guilt whenever
Everybody wins.
Exactly.
We still have to get our ticket.
That's right.
Yeah.
Only $2.
Yeah,
You could do that.
Why not?
Yeah, there you go.
Or 8 if you're wet.